Live. And we are live. Woohoo! Everyone, welcome to Align UTV with Adam Shaw, the Heart Guy, and Amanda Stedman. And as usual, we are hoping and trusting that technology will support us in our journey today. And we had a different subject we were going to talk about. We're going to talk about AI and crypto and other things today. But what's come up in our conversation is when we are moving up in our vibration and we're on our spiritual journey, we keep getting thrown people, circumstances, and things that really throw a spanner in the works. And we're being tested a lot, especially I would say the last 3 months since the beginning of this year. And I know that we're not alone. So we want to explore how we're dealing with that. And we trust that it will help you and some of our words will guide you in the right direction. So let me start with some things that have happened this week. I do a lot for people all around in my business. And sometimes people don't appreciate it when you go out of your way to assist them, whether they're paying you or whether they're not. And I've come to realize that when you do change timelines and when you are moving forward and up in your life, sometimes you are going to repel those people that have been draining you, or you're taking your energy, or really not valuing who you are. And sometimes it's hard for us to let those people or things go. So Adam, I'm going to hand the mic over to you now. Tell me a little bit about circumstances that have happened to you recently and how you are dealing with that.
Well, thank you. So I do believe in keeping it real. And the reason that we didn't start was like, we had to have a chat, didn't we? We had to have a chat because we're both being challenged at the moment. So let's take the lid off what challenges that I've been facing, because everybody's got stuff to deal with. Everyone's fighting their own battles. And I did some consultancy work, which I finished mid last year. I'd been working for 5 years. And it has since transpired that during my period of consultancy, that the CEO set up a fake address under my name, signed personal guarantees to banks in my name without my knowledge. And I've found out that I've been personally signed up for almost £4 million worth of liability against the company that I had no idea about. And now I've the Spanish tax authority chasing me, asking me where the money is. And the police don't seem to want to take it very seriously over here. So that's what I've been dealing with, Amanda, as you know. And this has really brought up quite a lot of stuff for me. It's made me feel very vulnerable. It's made me ask for help for the first time in a long time. So let's take the positives as well. Things that I don't normally do very well, asking for help. Well, I think sometimes the universe needs to throw an absolute crisis card at you so that you've no choice but to ask for help. And I think that because the vibration of the planet is raising right now, that anyone highly sensitive, anyone empathic, anyone that is on, shall we call it, a semi-spiritual journey or here for a bigger purpose or feels a calling, is being brutalized into waking up right now, because minor inconveniences aren't going to do it. You've been tested. You're still asleep. Right, let's give them the mother load of wake up call. Hello? Well, guess what? Message received. Thank you very much. And that's how it manifests. And we've both had similar challenges, haven't we?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've learned is, and again, we have to practice what we preach. And so many clients come to me with certain things that I'm like, oh, yes, that's something else I need to deal with. And I think, and a lot of clients I have, they're like, well, I'm not the perfect guru. I'm not the perfect coach. I'm not the perfect business person because, I'm dealing with this. And I'm like, look, we all have our challenges. No guru out there, even Wayne Dyer, Louise L. Hay, none of them were perfect. They all had their own challenges. Stop waiting to be perfect or waiting for everything to be exactly as you want it to get out there and start helping people. But the message that comes through from a lot of people that are empaths and are there to be of service is we have to sort ourselves out first in the biggest way possible. And all of us have gone through some kind of pain to be able to speak from the heart about what it's like to be at that rock bottom and how it is to come back. And one of the biggest lessons, because I know that these goes in cycles, and Adam and I both are very much into crypto. We love crypto as well. And everything is a cycle. Nature is a cycle. And Adam's known me long enough to see me build and lose, well, build and actually sell one company, build and lose one company in a recession, and build and sell one after another global disruption. So Adam has seen the rise and fall many times, and it does go in cycles. And I do believe Adam and I are back on that that higher cycle. We are on the bull run, as they would say on the crypto market. And so we're here to say, as you're going up and you are helping more people, you are going to have more poo that hits the fan. And I would say for those of you that are feeling it now, especially if you are an empath, to hang in there, because I do feel that this year is going to really be a massive transformational one for us. I've already felt that I've grown massively, both at a biological level, a mental, spiritual, and physical level. So for those of you that are feeling it, just like I said, hang in there and choose the people, places, and things that you are focusing your energy on. That's something that Adam and I were just talking about a moment ago. When you're an empath and when you're of service, you want to be of service to everyone. And unfortunately, we can't do that all of the time. So choose your energy wisely. And first of all, you do need to put that oxygen mask on yourself and make sure that you are doing everything in your power to make sure that you are in that slipstream of abundance. You are in that slipstream of divine flow, and you have to feel it. And that's something that I told Adam recently. That we have to feel into it, not just thinking it, not just the affirmations, we have to feel it. And that's where brain and heart coherence come in, where you're really feeling it in your heart and in your body, and then sending that signal up to your brain and out into the ether. So my message, and also Adam's message, and I'll hand over the mic to him in a second, is about feeling into that abundance, feeling into that acceptance. Again, we don't need anybody else's approval. The abundance and all the approval we need is already there. We just need to feel into it. And sometimes we're too busy to do that. And it does take time and effort to sit still and feel into the energy of everything that you need, and everything is already there. You have to believe it. And we've been taught the absolute opposite of that, that we're out of control. Nothing is in our control and just shit happens to you. That's not the case. We're controlling, creating everything around us. So we have to make sure that we get through these tests with much more calm, ease, grace, and flow. So Adam, talk to us about how you've been feeling into things recently to help some of our audience here.
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? So I released a video today, and I have never got such a high percentage of likes per view on any video before. So currently about 50% of the people that have looked at it, now admittedly that's only 28 views it had before I got here, but 14 had liked it. Now normally it takes about 100 views for me to get 14 likes or something like that. And the title was, well, let's actually go back. Let me go back a step and tell you why I recorded the video. So I went out walking a few days ago, and I just randomly walked into a nurse that I used to work with that I haven't seen for well over 20 years. Just happened to run into her. There she was, just Adam. I'd be embarrassed enough to tell you that I couldn't even remember what her name was. I think it was Lynn, but I'm not so sure. I was there struggling to work out who it was. And of course, she was treating me like an old friend and telling me how she was off with stress at work because things had fallen out. Her health had started to collapse. People were challenging her at work. It was getting more difficult. She was getting pressure from all sorts of different angles. And then she said something that really triggered me. She said, I'm trying to stay positive. And I'm like, what? And it dawned on me in that moment. I just had this awakening moment that so many people that are highly sensitive, that are empathic, this whole thing, this pre-programmed, trying to stay positive, even in your biggest challenges. And I just realized in that moment that that is the curse. It's the gift and the curse of the empath. Because if people are pissing you off, if people are screwing you over, if life is dealing you, if it's throwing lemons at you, before you even get to the lemonade thing and smacking you on the head and you're not liking it, trying to stay positive is not going to serve you. So the title of the video was Stop Trying to Stay Positive and Get Fucking Furious. Now, YouTube has banned the video unless you're logged in and you're over 18. So not many people are seeing my video, but those that are really resonating with the content, because what we talk about is sometimes you have to get mad. The anger is it's a very catalyzing emotion. And if you're an empath and you're feeling anger, and I actually went through anger and got to fucking furious with certain people in my life, it was a catalyst to walk away. And we're talking about, as you know, over the last few years, Amanda, narcissistic family members, that you can be as empathic as you want. But if you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing on a zero-sum game. There's no win. The only win for an empath is to walk away and to stop giving them fuel for their fire. So there's certain family members I haven't spoken to for years now, just because I love myself enough and felt the anger and the rage enough to think I deserve not to have to listen to any of that shit anymore. And so we talk about love and feeling abundance and all of this stuff, but the stuff that precedes it is often completely the opposite.
Yeah.
But it's no less valuable to feel that first to get to that. No, I deserve a better life. I do feel abundance. I do feel a bit more authority. I do feel stronger for having to deal with that situation. I feel my physiology straighten up. I feel a lot more confident in myself now, and I can see through bullshit better than I've ever done before. And I had to get mad before I got through it. So it's that catalyzing emotion, isn't it? That yes, you want to feel abundance and expansive, but there's work to be done to get there. And I know you've had to go through that as well lately, haven't you? How did you get through it?
Well, like any human, you experience the anger first. The anger comes up. I've experienced certain things in the last month, and I did lose it, and I lost it in front of the children, and a few expletives did come out, and I raged for a good, I think, 5 minutes. And then after that 5 minutes, I just kind of went, this is not doing my nervous system any good, but I need to get the anger up and out. So I did rage, and I stormed around my bedroom for almost 10 minutes and just let it out. I was like, come on. Because I need my children to see that, anger is also emotion that needs to come up and out. Remember that emotion is energy in motion. And, we can't be expected, even though I'm a guru of light, to be all pristine and, pink sunglasses the whole time. There's sometimes where I get mad. And so I got it all out, and then I sat down, and I know we have maybe slightly different opinions on this, but I just sat down and went, okay, the anger's up and out now. What can I do about this? I can choose to react and ruin the rest of my Sunday, or I can choose to do something else. And I thought, I've already given this person so much time and energy. I'm not going to give them any more. And I just took a nice big deep breath, and I went, I'm just going to swing this round and just completely let go of the whole situation. I'm not going to analyze it. I'm not going to dissect it. I'm just going to let it go and hand it over to the bigger team and go, I just don't care. I'm letting go of all expectation, and I'm just going to go back to having a nice rest of my day. And it was really interesting, because when you let go of the situation and just go, okay, whatever happens, I don't mind. It's not going to bother me. Then that's when things start to happen with other people. So that other person texted me within 24 hours with a completely jaw-dropping reaction. And I was like, oh my gosh, well, that is what I call a result. And it took me 10 minutes to calm my nervous system down, but I did let the anger up and out. So I do have some tips. When I work with people, because even when we go through the hypnotherapy and all the healing we do, we're human beings, and those negative emotions still come up. But what I want people to do is, when that negative emotion comes up, let it up and out, because it's being held in your body. Negative emotions need to come up and out, because if you hold them in your body, then that's when you're going to create physical problems. So I'm like Adam, let it up and out. And then, what are you going to do about it? And the thing that Adam said that I want to build on as well quickly is deserving. We deserve to have people treat us the way that we would like to be. We deserve to have friends that appreciate us and clients that appreciate us for who we are and what we bring. And there's a lot of people out there that won't come into that category. And life is too short to be spending too much time on people that are assholes. I'm going to say it. Okay, they're on their journey, and we can send them love, we can give them the tools. But I've come to the conclusion now, when somebody really needs help, they are going to come and ask me. They're going to come and approach me. I don't need to chase after them. I don't need to persuade them. I don't need to, interrogate them. When people need my help, they call me, they pay, they get the job done, and we make sure that they go from that state that they're not happy in to a state where they're really happy and going with ease, grace, and flow, spiritually, energetically, and mentally. But it has to come from them. And it's when they choose to deserve more as well. And when we choose to deserve more, that's when those emotions can be experienced and put to one side. And it is the catalyst to deciding, I deserve better. I deserve this. I deserve that. And you're choosing on how you want to react to it and how you want to be treated. Back to you, Adam.
Absolutely. We teach people how to treat us, don't we? And what we were having a conversation before we went live here about people that you give so much to, and then you get nothing back, or you get worse than nothing back. You get them having a go at you for trying to help them, and not seeing all the good work that you've done. They're only focused on the bad, which tells me more about where they're at than what you're teaching.
Yeah.
I think, certainly for people that are sensitive that do this work, it's really important to be comfortable with sacking clients. Just saying, okay, well, that's fair enough. That's how you think, and good luck. Off you go. Off you go. I mean, I know that because I run a 3-month energy training program, and I tell people one of the preludes to the course is that energy gives you what you need, not what you want. And so I get this all the time on the weekly calls. How's your week? Well, it's been terrible. The energy doesn't seem to be working. This is coming up. This person, the neighbor's dog has bitten me, or, stuff is going on, or the neighborhood has turned on us, and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of it is working through that. Sometimes when you work with energy, that if you're not there ready to get the message, then energy will crank up the pain dial until you do get the message. Let's bring that alive. So the woman or the man, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter what sex you are, because it happens to men and women. But somebody highly empathic ends up in a relationship with a narcissistic partner who completely chips away at their energy over time. Now, if you come to a 3-month energy workshop expecting love and light after the first session, you're going to be really disappointed, because what you need is something to happen to get you out of the relationship. That's what you need. What you want is love and light. You want your partner to change. You want them to suddenly change their entire personality and see how wonderful you are. But if you're in that zone, then working with energy is going to absolutely shake your world up. And this is where people don't understand it. That's why it's 3 months. We have to work through it. I have to listen to people's life fall apart in front of me. And then we try and make sense of it. We try and reconstruct it. And it's all about taking back control of your own energy and being a better friend to yourself. That's where it all is at, isn't it, really? The lesson that we all have to get. But that very rarely, that's never going to happen in one session, unless you've been through a lot of stuff to get to that point. You're not just going to have trauma and do nothing with it, turn up for one session and everything's going to be peace and love. That's not how the universe works, isn't it? And I think people need to understand that, especially people that are here for a bigger purpose, people that are here to be part of the awakening or to help humanity. Before you do any of that, you've got to help yourself. And that's the brutal truth for most people, isn't it? Got to
And
get
I
that
think it's the
oxygen right.
hardest. I think it's the hardest. I mean, you and I and a lot of people we know have been on this spiritual journey the last 20 years. And not just spiritual journey, but business spiritual journey. We're both entrepreneurs. We both have a business mind as well. And it's being able to blend business and spirituality together. And that's easier, more easy now, I think, than it's ever been. But it does come back to the embodying and owning it versus knowing. And I know we've known this consciously for 20 years, but owning, embodying, and feeling is really the secret to where it's at. And there's such a subtle difference between thinking you're owning it and knowing it. And I was with a client stroke friend yesterday, and she was saying the same thing. She was saying, Amanda, I got into that slipstream of just letting go and surrendering completely. And as soon as she did that, because she was in a lot of stress, she just let go. I just get to that point where you don't care. And you just go, I don't mind whatever happens. And then that's when a big contract came in for her. And I think it's the same for you guys that are listening out there now. Our biggest take, and I know we're going full circle here, is to feel it and to know you're already your best GPS system. You already know the answers. Adam and I have read 1 trillion books, done 1 trillion courses. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars to get to where we are now. And the answer is always there. But there's different scenarios that come up. And like Adam said at the beginning, that can shock us into doing what we're supposed to do. Now, a lot of times we don't always have shock tactics. There are people, places and things that come into flow, but it's generally when you least expect it. Even when I met my husband, he was at a point where he did not want another relationship. I was at a point in my life where I certainly did not want another relationship, really didn't care. And he didn't either. And that's when we met, when neither of us cared about a relationship, and boom, there we have it. We've been together 21 years. Because when we met, we didn't have any attachment to each other or any attachment to the idea of relationship. And when I met him, it was quite funny. I had no intention of getting married or having children. Now I'm married with 2 kids. So you tell me how that happened. That was not on my, particularly on my agenda. I was like, oh no, that's, children smell and they're expensive and they ruin your body. And I was right on all 3. But here we are. I'm with 2 crazy teens now and a crazy French husband. But anyway, that's another story for another day. I do want to keep our show around about 30 minutes. So I'm going to let Adam finish up on the feeling our way into the best universe for us with our own knowledge. Adam.
Well, that's it, isn't it? So, I mean, you just hit the nail on the head beautifully, isn't it? That we've got our own GPS, our emotional guidance system, and that any emotion that we have, if we deny it, then it will come back. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, I'm now that I've hit the old 50 plus mark, when I look back,
no.
well, it's a shocking. It's shocking. When I look back, the biggest mistake that I made was thinking that I had to reflect positively on everything that happened to me. I was actually a master at it. People screwed me over. Okay, there's a spiritual learning here. Let it go, Adam. Let it go. There's something more spiritual here to be learned. Let it go. No, don't lose the plot. Don't let it go. And they just turn up the heat on the stuff that happened to me. And I was a master at letting it go. I was so good at letting stuff go and dealing with absolute bollocks, let's just call it. But when I worked in the hospital as a nurse, that if something used to kick off on one of the other wards or in A&E, they used to say, is Adam on? And they'd find me wherever I was in the hospital because I was so good at just dealing with it. But what I've come to learn in my later years is that letting stuff go doesn't always serve me, because what I was finding out is some people were so obnoxious. I deal with them masterfully with no drama and not taking the bait on anything. But sometimes I'd go home and I'd be feeling it. Why was I so reasonable to that arsehole? And the energy would be sitting with me, but I would just find ways to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And now I've reached this stage in life, it's like to respect that energy. That it's not always spiritual to let stuff go or to let stuff slip or to let slights go. To actually, I want people to know that, yes, I'm a nice guy if you come up and you want to play nice, but if you want to be an arsehole about it, then I need to incentivize you not to think it's a good idea to ever do it again. So having that extra skill set of being able to, let's call it the arsehole, deal with arsehole kit, to incentivize them not to want to do it again, to give them a taste of their own medicine, or to incentivize them not to want to ever do that, is just a bigger part of the toolkit. And it doesn't change who I am to have that or to show it occasionally.
No.
And that's been the more recent thing, isn't it? And I think that's what we're all going through at the moment, that some people just aren't worth being nice to, and they're going to waste your time. But they're there also as a catalyst, as a reason to help you, to help me to develop the skill set that I needed to be a more complete human being in the bigger picture of it, and to love myself better, to love myself enough not to have to listen to that shit anymore. And there's there lieth the lesson. There lieth the lesson.
The message put in a very succinct, beautiful way by Adam is love yourself enough to not deal with assholes. That's basically it. And when they come along, yes, there's a lesson from it, but always speak your truth. And that's something that Adam is very good at, speaking your truth and just saying, look, do you know what? I don't think that behavior or that was warranted. And we call it a day, and you go off and do your thing. And the biggest thing is, because I'm like we set out with ideas to change every single person in the world, and it's just not possible. And the other thing I've learned is that everyone's on their journey, and it's my job to let them be on that journey. And if I'm part of it, great. And if I'm not, then that's great too, because they're on their own journey. I can only do my best. And again, to make sure that I'm valuing myself. And again, like you, I'm also over 50. Shock.
No!
And you just get more astute with the BS detector, and you're like, I just want to be me, and I don't care whether people like me or not. And that was a big lesson for me, because coming from the UK, we are conditioned for everybody to like us. And I'm going back to the Eric Idle in is it National Lampoons. He keeps getting knocked over all the time by Chevy Chase, breaks his leg, knocks him over on his bicycle. And every single time he's like, oh, no, sorry, it's my fault, so sorry. And totally not his fault at all. And I feel that empaths are very much like that Eric Idle character, and that he should just stand up from his bike and punch Chevy Chase on the nose. So we do have to stand up for ourselves, and breaking a lot of that conditioning is really important for that first step. So my challenge for you, and Adam might add one, is to go out there today, whenever you watch this video, and start being aware of who's reacting how with you. How are you allowing people to treat you? And just making sure that you are loving yourself and getting those interactions and those communications with people that do value you, that do support you, that do lift you up. Because there's enough crazy stuff going on in the world. We want people around us to be supportive and to hold us to a higher standard in a fun, loving, and expansive way. So that's my message for you. Go out there and start looking at how you value yourself, how you're feeling about yourself, and start to make some shifts on making sure that you know how amazing you are. And if no one else realizes that, or they're not picking up on it, then you need to speak your truth. Adam, last words.
Well, I think you've sort of summarized that beautifully, isn't it? You know, that seeking approval from others from a place of not loving yourself is a completely wasted time. So start loving yourself and stop seeking approval from others, and you'll get it, because people see you being authentically you. And the amount of people I get now, if I lock horns with an arsehole, that come up to me after and say, God, I wish I was able to do that. I wish I was able to do what you just did. But people will step up, that you don't need to be anyone else but who you are, and be true to yourself and love yourself enough not to have to deal with the shit. So there you go. That seems like an appropriate message to leave it on.
And I'm going to wave my hand. This is I'm giving you the permission slip.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the permission slip. These are not the empaths that you're looking for. These are not the empaths that you're looking for. So Adam and I are anointing you. We're giving you full permission to be yourself.
Absolutely.
And go out there and speak your truth in any shape or form that you wish. And Adam's is a little bit more X-rated than mine. So choose your path, people. Choose your path. Now, I'll put Adam's details below my video. No, Adam will put my details below his video. Connect with anyone that resonates with you. We are here to serve. We're here to make sure that you are living the best Jedi life possible. So Adam, thank you again for being my weekly guest on Align You TV. We always have such amazing discussions, and our aim is always to uplift and be real and authentic, and trust that you can see some of you in us, and make sure that you're taking some of this advice and applying it to your own life. So We're going to love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you again at a similar time next Tuesday on Align You TV with Adam, the Heart Guy. Adam, thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.
As ever, a pleasure.
Bye for now.